What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Popcorn Talk. Today with me is
the host with the most, Ethan, and special guest,
Bree.
Hey,
Hi.
welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
It's good to have you back. So as you may have already known, Bree is a avid Spider-Man fan.
Yes.
Specifically, a favorite villain of hers. Bree, you want to tell them who your favorite villain is?
Mysterio.
In case you didn't know who Mysterio is, Bree, give us a nice little quick recap.
Okay, so Mysterio he's going to be the villain played in Far From Home by Jake Gyllenhaal, which I'm super excited about. That casting is amazing, but a lot of people don't really know who he is. So a little backstory. I know like everything about his life, which is kind of
She does.
yeah. So to start off, his name is Quentin Beck, and his villain name is Mysterio. But to start at the beginning, he lost his mother at an early age.
Oh no.
I feel like this is important to his backstory, so I'm gonna go into it.
Go.
But he lost his mother at an early age. He didn't really know her, and his father neglected him, and he spent his time talking to literally the ghost of his wife instead of raising his son, which is kind of messed up. So the only person that was ever really there for Quentin was his uncle, and his uncle was actually the one that planted the seed of love for movies in Quentin's mind, because he's a big movie fanatic.
Yeah.
He wanted to be an actor. That was always like a big aspiration of his, and I think that's because he always wanted to be in the spotlight. He always wanted attention because he never got that as a child.
Yeah.
So he went into movies. At first he went into stunt work, and then he found he had a love for illusionary and special effects. And he's very proficient in it, like he's very skilled, but he felt he wasn't getting enough recognition for it. So his desire to be famous was super obsessive, and he figured, like any normal person, the way to be in the spotlight was to become a supervillain. And so he tried like picking out a superhero, and he thought that Spider-Man would be an easy target, and he was very wrong about that. But he created the character of Mysterio, and he basically made, I like to say he made New York City kind of his set, where he was like the star. He wanted to be in the spotlight, so he created these gadgets and used his skills and special effects to, try to take down Spider-Man. And it turns out that they were pretty matched, actually, as foes, because Mysterio would develop this technology that would go against Spider-Man. Like, he has, like, acid that, like, can dissolve his webbing and stuff like that. So he's, even though he doesn't have superpowers or anything, he's still a danger to Spider-Man. And a lot of people don't think that he can carry this movie, but I think that he can. I think that he's going to be very good at carrying this movie. So, that's a villain.
That's Mysterio, guys.
Yeah.
So, in case you didn't know, Spider-Man Far From Home is the sequel to Homecoming, in which Spider-Man is traveling internationally, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, he's going to Europe. I'm pretty sure London is
London, Berlin, and Rome.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, sounds like a St. John study abroad program.
You're right.
Wow, are we Spider-Man? Am I Spider-Man?
You could be. Is your name Peter?
Maybe.
Oh.
Wow.
What is my name? Who am I?
I'm
Who
a
is-
Dominican named Peter. That's amazing.
I'm not Dominican.
Anyway, so it's a school trip.
Yeah.
And basically throughout the trip, Peter is still, working out the kinks of being Spider-Man, and still, I guess you could technically say he's still a mentee to Iron Man, right? To Tony Stark.
I mean, I would say that. I mean, he kind of always figures things out on his own, but Tony has guided him a little bit. He gave him, the suit and everything. He's still working that out. But I think that a lot of Spider-Man's growth is from himself.
No, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And we just found out Nick Fury is going to be in the film, which I'm
Yes,
excited to see
super
what his
excited
core
about.
lens is. And then Jake Gyllenhaal, I'm kind of excited to see how he
I think
plays.
he's great. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I'm excited for you. So, what are some of your expectations for this film?
Okay, so a lot of people, like as we saw in the trailers, the elementals are allegedly going to be in it. But I have a theory, and a lot of other people share this theory, that the elementals are actually just illusions created by Quentin Beck.
Yeah.
And what Quentin does, and I find it's very interesting, is that when he creates these illusions, he choreographs them.
Yeah.
So it's not like he creates like this actual like creature who has free reign and is like alive or whatever. Like he, at least from other mediums that I've seen, like he choreographs them because he doesn't have any abilities or anything. So I think that the elementals are gonna be actually just creations, and it's gonna because he wants to make himself look like the hero
Yeah,
in this, and
of
he
course.
has done that in a few other things. Like I think in the original cartoon he did that, where there was an episode where he made it seem like Spider-Man was robbing banks and he was committing all these crimes, and Mysterio would like swoop in and save the day. So I think that's kind of gonna be what this movie is. I mean,
I'm excited
Yeah.
for it.
yeah, me too.
I'm actually really excited. What about you, Albert?
I feel like this movie's kind of giving out all its plot points too soon. Like, we all know Mysterio's gonna betray Peter. We know Mysterio's setting up all these monsters just to get fame. I don't know what's gonna be the new phase is gonna be about.
Yeah.
I feel like them showing Nick Fury the service, I feel like them even just showing the whole trailer in general is kind of a bad idea because like takes the whole illusion away that Spider-Man's
The
dead,
illusion.
even though we know he's not gonna be dead. But like,
Yeah.
imagine you don't get it. Imagine the end of at the end of Endgame, you just see the next Spider-Man trailer, and boom, comes out in July.
It's in 2 months after Endgame.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I know the movies they're supposed to usher us to the new phase, but I just feel like knowing Nick Fury is still alive and Spider-Man. Of course, I knew Spider-Man was gonna come back alive because of the contract deal, but like knowing Fury's alive is just kind of took away like some of the wonder from Endgame. I
Yeah.
feel like they could have shot this way better. Like they could have done this. I don't know. I feel like they could release this movie later, like maybe in August even.
You think it's gonna get pushed back?
No, it's gonna still release in July,
Oh.
but like I think they should release in August and everything.
Okay. I
That's
don't
my
know.
thoughts.
What do you guys think? How do you guys think it relates to Endgame? Like, do you think it's
No,
gonna
it's
affect?
after. It's
No, it is, but
Yeah.
Kevin Feige said that Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man movie, is pretty much the next ushering phase. Like they're gonna tell you pretty much how the world's been and everything. It's gonna show you like
also it's like
everything.
a few months or years after.
I mean,
yeah, it's pretty much
yeah.
gonna pick up like right after not right after Endgame, but like it's gonna pick up
Give
where
up time.
I heard
yeah.
it's pretty soon after Endgame, though. Actually, I heard it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I heard it's not a very long period of time after Endgame at all. So on top of
Some-
the new movie, like Peter is gonna be going through some stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
from
it'll come back from the
Endgame.
dead and everything.
You
So
know,
like
big thing.
PTSD, but like also
Yeah.
at the same time, probably that's why they're going on a trip to Europe because they can't be near New York or a lot of these places where a lot of the main damage happened during the whole.
Or it could just be a
Endgame.
school trip.
I
Could
mean-
just be a school
I mean-
trip.
Touche. True.
Also,
Yeah.
just the time travel stuff they're gonna do too.
Yeah, I'm excited
So,
to see how
did
that
you hear the
relates.
theory about how Black Widow? There's 2 different Black Widows. So that means there's 2 different timelines. Like the blonde Black Widow is a timeline that failed, and the red hair Black
Really?
Widow.
Oh, I
Because if you
didn't
notice the
know that.
Endgame trailer, there's 2 types of Black Widows. One with blonde, one with
Oh,
red.
with the
I-
blonde ends and the one
With the
without?
ponytail,
Yeah.
red ponytail. I
Yeah,
just
oh, yeah,
personally
yeah.
thought that was just like different, like going back in time.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Like there's 2 different parallel timelines going on now. Blonde is supposed to signify
That
the failure.
Oh, and then
The red is
is
the
success.
past.
Oh,
Red is the past, and it's
Interesting.
gonna like go on and show you, hey, this is how we're gonna correct everything.
I didn't
That's
know that
crazy.
one. Okay.
no, that has me shook.
All right.
But yeah, I'm excited for Spider-Man. I really enjoyed Homecoming. I really enjoyed Into the Spider-Verse. I'm pretty sure you loved Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah,
as
I
well.
loved Spider-Verse. It was
I'm just
amazing.
excited to see what they do. But what we do want to do, which is different than what I've done in previous podcasts, is now shift to a Q&A session with Bree.
Alright.
Yeah.
We have a few
What is
questions.
Our first question is, what is your social security?
Oh,
Well,
we need your 3-digit numbers in the back. No, but we asked people on Instagram, me and Bree on Instagram, asked people to send in questions for us to answer on the podcast. So I'll let Bree start this off.
okay, so the first question is from Kyle, and it's how many fish can Mysterio realistically care for in his helmet?
How many what?
How many fish? Because people call him Fishbowl Head.
Oh,
Because
okay.
his head is like you
I-
don't see his face.
I
It's just-
actually I want to go into a little detail about his helmet because I feel like he gets roasted for that like so hard. And I mean, it looks a
He
little
deserves it.
silly, but it does have purpose. So I mean, on top of the design, because Quentin. Mysterio's costume is super important because Quentin designed it, and like that's a big thing about his character. He is an actor. He's a big movie guy, so everything that he designs is from his mind. So
Yeah.
you can't really change that. But on top of that, the fishbowl helmet is, first of all, it's bulletproof glass, so it's not like, it's just like a fishbowl. Second, it's got its own oxygen supply, and it also has sonar equipment in it, so when he uses smoke and stuff, and he can still see.
Yeah.
So it is important, and I feel like he can, I mean, sure, he can have like a mask for oxygen instead, but then where would he put like his sonar?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I feel like even though, and it kind of, his look is kind of like wizard, like astronaut,
Well,
crystal ball.
he's trying to pull off like the Doctor Strange, showing his powers, but he's
yeah,
just an illusion.
that's what I
Yeah.
personally think.
Well, I mean, like, his whole thing is that he's the master of the arcane arts, and like he can
It's like
project. Yeah, but that's what he like says about
Yeah.
himself. He says that he's like the master of the arcane arts, and he has like all these lasers and all these shapes that he can make with his lasers, but it's all fake.
Yeah.
But I mean,
also,
the
I
fishbowl.
feel like Doctor Strange can point out like, yeah, guys, that's just some random gibberish he's making.
Well, actually, there. I mean, it's kind of not the same thing, but in one of the cartoons, Mysterio, he made this illusion that a roof was caving in,
Yeah.
and Peter was there, and he was like, my spider sense didn't go off. Like, I should have known that was fake, because like his spider sense didn't go off because it wasn't really a danger to him. But they're still so convincing and real that, you know, they can pass as serious dangers and everything, you know.
Huh.
Yeah.
So the
So-
answer is 0.
Yeah, 0 fish. Lots of equipment though, and oxygen. So,
Alright.
you wanna
So
go next?
so Brian had asked if I could cast another high-profile actor to be Mysterio. Who would I say and why?
Okay.
Now, I really haven't had another decision besides the name I told you. So
Mhm.
I personally, because Jake Gyllenhaal, he could be a comedian, he could be a drama person, he could do different types.
That's important.
But Mysterio is the kind of guy that I would see more comedic than drama because, like, I don't know how you feel about that, but like, just something about it gives me like, you know, he's pretending to be something that he's not.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So who?
I
have
said
an
Ben Stiller.
Okay. Well.
I love how I don't know. It's just
Well.
like, you know, like, cause when you get like a weird like head turner like Jake Gyllenhaal to just like, it's just like you're putting someone new in the cinematic universe. So like people are obviously gonna have like their doubts. People are gonna have like, these are my expectations for a character like Mysterio. And I don't think I don't know who you're probably gonna say your person in a second. I don't know
Yeah.
if that was the same person when they were rumored to have a character playing Mysterio. But I personally would think Ben Stiller would be great.
I mean, like, I understand, but my person is actually, he's not like high profile in America, at least I think, but the person that I would pick is Matt Smith. He was an actor on Doctor Who. He played the 11th Doctor.
Yeah.
I just think that with Quentin, he's very layered because even though he can be comedic, he's also like you have to take him seriously. Even though he can be a little silly and ridiculous, like he's a threat. And I think that, you know, Matt Smith could also play both sides of that. He can be like goofy, but he can also be dramatic.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's kind of like his whole thing is it's kind of a balance
Yeah.
between goofy and dramatic. So I would pick Matt Smith. But I'm very happy with Jake.
Yeah.
So, okay, next question. What are you most excited for in the new movie? Well,
Adrian, I think you already know the
oh,
answer.
Adrian asked that. Yeah. Mysterio is mine.
I'm excited for Ned. I loved
Ned,
the
I
homie
love
Ned from Homecoming, and I'm excited to see how he makes me laugh in this movie. All right. Steven had asked who had the best Spider-Man suit out of all of the Spider-Man films. I'm not including Into the Spider-Verse. I'm
Yeah,
including as
that's
far as Tobey Maguire to Tom Holland.
Well, I mean, I would have to say Tom Holland has the
I
best,
agree.
because, you know, like he's got like the tech and everything, but I do like the look of Andrew Garfield as well. It is a good look. I mean, and
That's the one with the
Tobey's-
longer one, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Toby's is just iconic. I mean, like that's the one that
That's
I
to
grew
start
up
it off.
with.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
that's so I mean, shout out to Toby for being great because like I mean, even though he's not the favorite, he's got a special place in my heart because
Same.
I grew up with him.
All right, last question. Well, from
Um,
you. I have one more
Next
too.
question is from John. He says, "How do you see this film fitting into the MCU timeline?" We already answered this previously. So after Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And Olivia, funny that we were literally talking about them. Olivia had asked, who do you prefer, Tobey Maguire or Tom Holland?
I mean, accuracy-wise, I prefer Tom Holland, but Toby, forever special place in my heart for being the first live-action Peter I ever saw. You know, very
Yeah.
important to me.
I mean, it's hard to decide between Tom Holland, who was the young epitome of Peter Parker, and then we have Pizza Time, Tobey Maguire, who
Pizza
I think
Time.
would always, I think everyone could literally say that Tobey Maguire has a special place in
Oh,
their
yeah.
heart for being the first. Not you, Albert?
He was alright.
Pizza Time doesn't ring a bell to you?
Pizza Time, best
No.
time.
Not Pizza Time?
I like his
I'm not
suit.
paying.
Not the
that.
dance?
That's Tobey Maguire.
That is.
Yeah,
Tobey
we're talking
Maguire.
about
Oh, I
Tobey
thought
Maguire.
you said Andrew Garfield.
No, we're not talking about him
Shout out
anymore.
to him too,
Oh,
though. I
oh.
enjoyed him too.
I only
I
enjoyed
thought you were
the-
still Andrew Garfield. That's
I
why.
enjoyed
No,
the
I
action.
know. I like my Tobey
Tobey
Maguire.
Maguire.
Come on.
Yeah.
Pizza Time.
Pizza Time.
Pizza.
Time. I don't know. Tobey Maguire, both of them are both honestly really good.
Yeah.
But to honestly answer Olivia's question, I'm really going to say both because,
I mean, that's fair.
but like if we had to choose one, I would say Toby.
Really.
Mm.
I mean, I would say Tom just because I also the way he ties in with everything
No,
and his
yeah.
personality and everything. You know,
I love you, Tom, but like Toby.
Toby, I love
in my
you.
heart. But yeah, those seem to be
Yeah,
all of
so-
our questions,
Mhm.
and that seems to be our episode.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was
Yeah.
Bree. If you have any clout that you wanna throw out,
Brianna Marie on Instagram with 3 eyes.
Would you
and
like to spell that for everyone, please?
BRIIIANNAMARIE.
and then you already know Bronx Bronx Movie Critic on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
for reviews every week. This has been Popcorn Talk. Thank you so much.